Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
And beer.
and maple syrup.
Yes. And Molson.
And Molson. Yeah, we're... I'm Bill, and this is...
I'm Kevin.
Yeah, the co-host. I mean, interim co-host. So, and tonight we're covering a Canadian scumbag.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is
guy
him.
from not too far from my neck of the woods, actually. It's only about 4 hours from here.
So, if you're watching the video, just so you know, the bucket next to him, it's not a puke bucket. It's a maple syrup bucket because it's a maple tree that he's sitting next to.
And I'm actually, I was trying to zoom in and be like, I can't tell what kind of tap that is. But I will say this. As a Vermonter, our maple syrup is better than Canada's.
Oh,
Fight me.
Hot
Fight
take.
me. I almost got into a fist fight with a guy at a wedding a couple years ago that I was helping work at, where their table gifts for everybody were little 40 milliliter things of maple syrup from his family's operation in Quebec, and he's like, "You want one?" And I went, "No, I have good maple syrup. My family makes theirs here." What are you talking? He's like, "Canadian is better," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, like you're kidding, right?" Like,
I don't know.
He didn't like that.
To me, maple syrup is maple syrup to me. I mean, I wouldn't know the difference. I can tell the difference between maple syrup and imitation maple syrup, but and maple syrup is definitely superior to the other crap with plastic and whatever the hell else they put in.
No. Let me ask you. When it comes to real versus fake maple syrup, do you have to be able to taste it to be able to tell the difference?
I don't know. I mean, I could if you poured some in a shot glass of one and the other, I'm pretty sure I could probably pick it out.
I was going to say, because genetically, from being from where I'm from, I can do it by sight.
No, I'd like to think I'd be able to tell the difference.
And smell. I can if you were to open
I'm sure I could smell
the fake stuff across the room. I'm like, it smells like medicine. Who the fuck would put this on pancakes? Ooh.
Anyway, I'm just going to turn the mic over to History Goon here. By the way, he hosts the amazing podcast History Goon.
You know what? It's pretty good. I'll toot my own horn. It's pretty all right.
Yeah. The podcast is great. The podcast host is mediocre.
That's true. It even says it on my thing down here. And you know what? People are going to think Bill did that. I did that to myself, because there's nobody in the face of the earth that hates me more than I do myself. So.
Oh, I did put the vape hit guy on mine. So.
But that's
the fun part is.
But the people don't know what we're talking about because that doesn't show up on what goes out.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't show up. So people are like, even people watching the video are like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, I mean, by the time you've clicked on the episode, I'm sure you will have seen the guy's name somewhere, but...
yeah.
So, unfortunately, usually we have a little bit of time where we can kind of, shit on somebody, for a little bit before we get into the bad part of the story. This guy sucked right from the get-go.
All right, well, Kevin is doing host duties tonight, so take it away there, History Goon.
So we are going to be talking about a man, might not be the right word, a male adult.
A male adult, okay.
Yes.
I've had a run-in with one of them recently.
Yeah, because a man wouldn't do what this guy's about to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this fella's name is Marc Lepine. He was born, not Marc Lepine, he was born Gamil Gabari, October 26, 1964, in one of my least favorite places in the world, Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
What's the matter with Montreal, Quebec, Canada?
I'm a Bruins fan.
Oh, okay.
And I also, when as a kid, really liked the Montreal Expos, except we couldn't get them here. And as I got older and found out why you couldn't like watch them on TV or listen to them on the radio, it made me dislike the area even more. And that is because
they're
Quebec,
in Canada.
yes, well, it's Quebec specifically. You cannot broadcast anything in just English. You have to have an option. It has to be French with an option for English. So that's why you couldn't get like baseball games on the radio, because they didn't have an English broadcaster.
So it's so it's the Frenchness doctrine.
Yeah, it's some like French Canadian supremacy, and I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm an American supremacist, and that is it.
Okay, what was his birth name?
His birth name is Gamil Gabari.
Let's just call him Gamil.
Yeah, I mean, he's only Gamil for a little bit. He becomes Mark here in the first couple pages.
Okay.
His mother's name was Monique Lepine. Obviously, the last name is going to come up again later. She was a nurse, and at one point in time had actually been a Catholic nun. And his father, Rashid Gabari, was an abusive piece of shit.
Oh.
He was also an Algerian immigrant and a businessman, but he was less that and more an abusive scumbag than anything else.
Okay.
Oh, balls.
Apparently he didn't have any.
No. So, Rashid was on I lost my spot here. Okay. So, whoops. I swear it's not my first time doing this. I'm punching the microphone and losing my place. So to put it into perspective, the kind of guy that his father was, he was on a business trip in the Caribbean selling mutual funds when his son was born, and he refused to cancel or postpone this trip when his wife went into labor.
Well, I mean, you got to pay the bills. He's a new father and all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I could take a couple days off and be like, let's go see what this whole having a kid thing's all about.
The bills don't care. The bills don't care if you had a child or not. And especially all the hospital bills, they're coming too, man. Right now, I think he's I think we're talking about a good dad.
I mean, here's the thing though. Is by all accounts, his boss was a real asshole, and that's because he worked for himself.
Oh. Okay.
You imagine trying to explain to your wife, well, my boss won't let me take the time off for you going into labor. You work for yourself. I put in a CTO form, and he never filled it out, so I don't know what to tell you. So he also forced Monique to leave her nursing job after she had Mark, so that he could keep an eye on her. So he made her his personal assistant at work. Ringing a bell from the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, probably wasn't paying her either.
Probably not. He was a non-practicing Muslim, but he still held on to the belief very firmly that women are not even remotely close to equal to men. So that's one thing from his religion that he clung to pretty well. It was a few weeks after Mark was born that his father finally returned to meet him. And in that period of time, something happened where evidence kind of came to light that he'd been kind of, maybe, potentially, but absolutely, definitely having an affair behind his wife's back.
Yeah. Of course he was.
Pretty typical. What's that?
I said, of course he was.
Yeah. And it's the mid-'60s, so pretty typically for the time, she just kind of ignored the whole thing and pretended it wasn't happening.
That's why it wasn't the mutual funds he was selling. I mean, it was he wanted to go down to the Caribbean to have all the wild sex with all the Caribbean hotties.
Yeah, he's not selling mutual funds. He's slinging wiener all over the Caribbean.
Hot dog.
Let's see here.
By the way, people, I'm not familiar with this case. I know nothing about it. I read enough on the Wiki.
I don't either, and I wrote it.
I know enough about. I read enough on the Wikipedia page to find out what the gist of what he did, which was how I was able to make the artwork picture for this episode.
If it tells you anything, the first time I came across this guy's story was in a book called 100 People You Won't Meet in Heaven. So he's not a good dude. And I mean, honestly, we're talking about him on here, so he's probably not a good person anyway, right?
Well, we've covered a couple good people. Bum Mazel.
Yeah, but
Bum Mazel, he was a good person.
Yeah. I mean, but the good people are usually the victims.
Yeah, this is just a cool Florida story. Bum Mazel, it was like one of the 30-something episodes, early on.
Right.
A Florida legend.
Mark was joined in 1967 by his sister Nadia. I couldn't really kind of pin down a birthplace for her because the family kind of spent a bunch of time moving due to his work, due to Rashid's work. She was most likely born in either Costa Rica or Puerto Rico.
Okay.
One of the two. Back in the 60s, I'm not 100% sure how their birth records would have been, how accurate they would have been, or, if they were even keeping them or whatever. But for foreigners, they may not have even given a shit to save it. Here would be another time to showcase what kind of a scumbag dad really was. If he found any kind of errors in the paperwork that his assistant, a.k.a. his wife, was doing, he would just smack the shit out of her.
Damn.
Like, open-handed, in the face, at her desk, yeah. And I mean, in his defense, she had zero training in how to do any of this. So it's definitely her fault that she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the employee's fault when the manager doesn't train them properly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You were a nurse. That means you know how to be a bookkeeper too, right? Like, and if you don't, I'm going to slap you for it. Good.
Right.
Glad we've come to a agreement here.
In fact, when I have students, I'm going to use that philosophy on them.
And she would also get smacked around for showing the kids any kind of affection because it would, quote, spoil them. And we all know that, kids being ignored and neglected kind of makes them turn out to be super weird and violent.
It's the reason why true crime exists a lot of the time.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the last guy that I brought you for this show was also abused and neglected by his parents.
A lot of them were.
Weird. Strange how that works, Mm-hmm. In 1970, an incident took place that would be the final straw for Monique. I thought I had a clip pulled up from an interview for it, but it wasn't the right one. So basically, what had happened is Mark had gotten into some tiny, tiny infraction of trouble in school. And we're talking like he's 5 or 6, so he's in like kindergarten, first grade.
So it's not like he brought a gun to school or anything. Foreshadowing.
No,
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. That's what we in the business call foreshadowing. If I remember correctly, I think he had an accident at school. I think he like peed his pants.
Damn.
Because he's 5 or 6 at this point.
Yeah, it happens.
And Dad, either, I can't remember if he slapped him or if he slammed his head off a table. Either way, it caused enough damage that he had to have surgery to repair his eardrum and inner ear.
Head injury, check.
Yeah. Like, and again, I know we've said it 1,000 times on shows like this. This kid had if he had grown up in the house next door, he would have just been a normal dude.
But he didn't.
But instead,
he grew up in this house, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a feel bad for the kid. The adult can go fuck himself.
Exactly. Because him as an adult sucks.
Well, that's most of the case with these.
Yeah. So they start their whole separation, and Monique revealed that one of the other things that caused her to want to separate was he forced the kids to stay in their room that had a bed, 2 chairs, and a table. And basically like a little like training potty training toilet kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They were not allowed to leave the room, even to go to the bathroom, without getting beaten on. And if Monique tried to step in to defend them, she would catch hands too.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to learn how to do it if you're not getting any guidance or whatever? There's just a thing in the room. It looks like any other piece of furniture to a kid that young.
Yep. The only time that they were allowed to leave this room is when he wasn't around. Monique's sister was questioned about if she had seen any of this behavior during the trial, and she told a story of one night she'd been invited over for dinner, and Rashid decided that after she had gotten there, like before dinner had been served, that like, I don't want her here, she needs to go. So Monique's like just trying to calm him down. It's like she'll leave as soon as we're done eating. It's probably one of these like, dinner's going to be ready in 5 minutes. I'm not kicking my sister out. Let's just feed her and then she can leave after. So being a rational adult, he grabbed the casserole out of the oven and threw it through the kitchen window, not out of it, through it. Okay. Monique went out to clean it up, and the kids are out in the backyard. He followed her out and smashed her head and face off of a brick wall a handful of times. So the sister went out to state the most obvious thing ever is that her sister and the kids lived a total life of fear around this guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, because like you don't just... This is not normal behavior by any stretch of the imagination for like a well-adjusted adult to treat their family like this.
No.
The court would end up siding with Monique and allowing the separation. So now Mark and Nadia are living with Monique, but shortly after the separation is finalized, the house and everything in it were seized by the bank because dickhead here stops making the mortgage payments.
After he got kicked out?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's not like he cared about his family anyway, so...
Right, so not only do they not have anywhere to live, she doesn't have a job anymore and can't make money because she was working for him.
What, he was actually paying her?
Yeah. Because I think he legally had to.
$1.50 an hour?
Yeah, like whatever it was, just because of like, payroll laws and all that stuff. Like, yeah.
Sandra and I covered a case like this where the husband owned the business and he paid his wife, and then the wife wanted, she actually left and went to a different firm, a competitor, because the competitor offered her more money. I can't remember what episode that was.
What's really funny is when you get to watch someone that you work with tell the boss to go fuck themselves and quit, and the boss is their daughter.
I take it you're
I'm
speaking
not
from
working for you no
experience.
more. You go fuck yourself. And she walked out the door. Oh, it was fantastic. This tiny little German woman just getting real, real mad at her daughter. So, let's see, where did I leave off here? Okay. So, mercifully, this would be pretty much the last interaction that any of them would have with him, with the exception of the divorce finalizations in 1976. with all this going on, Monique went back to work as a nurse and even like furthered her career by taking extra courses and doing a bunch of training and stuff like that. This is fantastic for her. It's not good for Mark.
Why?
Because, well, he's now officially changed his name to Marc Lepine. He changed it at 14 years old because kids in school were bullying him for having a weird name. So he went by Mark and then took his mother's last name.
Well,
but
what he should have told people is he hated his dad. His dad was a piece of shit, and he wanted nothing to do with it. Nothing to associate.
Yeah. But instead, it was like, I'm getting picked on because I have a stupid name, so I have to change it. Yours would have been a much more reasonable reason to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But why this isn't good for him that she's working so much is because as much as he hated his father, he did unfortunately take after him a little bit, and this is around the same time that he starts to realize that Dad was right. Women are inferior to men.
Peter Curtin vibes here.
Yeah, and it's like 14 years old, you're going through puberty. This is not the right time to develop this opinion.
No.
You know? No, you're supposed to wait until you're in your 40s and people won't talk to you, you know? I'm ready to settle down. Okay, enjoy your cats. And another thing that was not helping was the fact that with Mom working as much as she was and taking all these extra classes, the kids are basically living with other people during the week. So Mark would go on later to say that this left him feeling, quote, alone and isolated from the world. He also went through, like, obviously that super awkward puberty that everybody goes through. At least guys, it's not great.
Nah.
Your voice starts cracking and just things are happening when they're not supposed to. And, you know, and part of his was he ended up with really bad acne and low self-esteem due to everything else. It's like, I hate to say it, I can kind of relate to this guy a little bit. I didn't get the acne. I just had, like, zero self-esteem. So, yeah.
I think the acne had more to do with candy bars.
And stress.
Come on.
I guarantee you this guy's
candy
like,
bars.
cortisol levels were through
candy
the fucking
bars, man.
roof.
Candy bar.
I love candy. God. His sister would be pretty frequently be one of the ringleaders of people making fun of him in front of other kids at school about his acne and the fact that he didn't have a girlfriend.
Pizza face.
Yeah, and his sister's like was like 3 years younger than him. She's like, what a fucking loser! He doesn't even have a girlfriend.
Damn.
So, needless to say, they had a pretty strained relationship. I don't know if it would have been any different if they lived full-time at home with Mom. I think he had developed these thoughts in his head about how women are that I think would have caused a rift there anyway, even if Mom was there.
Maybe.
It may have been even worse with Mom there.
But still, well, I don't know. Maybe Mom would have stepped in and, you know, done something to the daughters, like, stop messing with your brother, stop picking on your brother.
Right.
But then again, once it got back to school, it would have just gotten worse. He had to get Mommy after me.
and you'd think with the amount of trauma and bullshit that these two like bonded through,
yeah, you'd think they would trauma bond and have a, you know, at least even if you'd think they would have been friends outside of school and just kind of ignore each other in school.
Yeah. Or been like, you're not going to talk to my sister like that. I'm going to beat your ass. That kind of thing.
That too.
So this was so bad that Mark would often daydream about his sister dying. And once he actually built a little mock gravestone for her.
Damn.
In 1981, Nadia would be placed into a group home because she was getting involved with some pretty hefty drug use at the age of like 11 at this point, because she was born in 1970. Yeah.
Did she know the Carr brothers?
What's that?
Did she know the Carr brothers?
Were they in Quebec, or was that?
No, they were in Plano, Kansas.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jesus Christ, those guys. Because there's a gang up there with a very similar name that's like always at war with the bikers and shit. I can't remember the last name, but it's pretty close to those.
The Marriotts and the Melvins.
Oh, yeah. And there's like the Cartiers or something like that. So little sister taking part in all this delinquent behavior would be a celebration for Mark.
Why?
And, well, because
Stealing
he
his
doesn't have
thunder.
to deal with her. What's that?
She's stealing his thunder.
No, but she's in group homes now, so
okay,
he doesn't
yeah.
have to deal with her anymore.
Right.
She's not around. And not too long after this, his mom decides that he needs to get involved in like the Big Brother program to try to find like a mentor to maybe be a friend and teach him how to not be a complete scumbag. So his mentor taught him a whole bunch of stuff about motorcycles and photography, and Mark seemed to like really take to the program very well. This actually got to the point where it was turning him around enough that his grades were improving in school. He wasn't being a dickhead to mom or anybody else really. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, because he's not allowed to have good things happen to him. His big brother was removed from the program after a few other kids came forward and said that he had been molesting them for years.
Lepine?
No, his mentor.
Oh.
Yeah. Mark, when they asked him, he's like, nope, we never had anything like that happen between the two of us. Like nothing inappropriate whatsoever. So this guy is removed from the program. And Mark was like, if he's gone, I don't really want to talk to any of these other people. So he stopped going to it also. And as he got a little bit older, he did what many a teen boy does, and he got really, really into World War II. Again, I can't throw stones.
I was just...
Because I was like reading when I first like did the research for this, I was like, oh man, me too. I fucking love World War II. Absolutely fine hobby and interest to have, unless you get like, you go down the same road he did, where he got really, really into the SS and mostly Heinrich Himmler.
Mein Kampf, perfect, good.
Which is great, because they would have put this guy in a death camp too, because, he's vaguely brown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Aryan, huh? Interesting. He gets super into World War II. He also gets into paintball and horror movies. Again, whatever, that's fine. And a lot of the guys that he played with said that when he got out into the woods, he went from being a shy, weird introvert to a completely different animal.
You can't just turn it off! Nothing is over!
Gattaca! So he got like super intense and took it like way too seriously. And with this newfound love for simulated human violence, Mark did the next logical thing he could try, and he tried to join the army in 1981. So after being turned down, surprisingly, he was turned down for service from the army. And I'm sorry, I have to make jokes because this is going to get so goddamn dark here in like not very long. So he gets turned down for going into the military, which I know is shocking. The paperwork that was released said that, quote, he was interviewed, assessed, and determined to be unsuitable. He told people...
What does unsuitable mean? Because...
With this guy, unsuitable to me means he failed a psych exam.
Okay.
That I have no proof of that. Speculation.
Okay. Well, I mean...
Foreshadowing.
It's pretty hard to not make the Army if you're physically fit and have a clean, and don't have a criminal record. It's
especially in a time like this where there is not a lot going on in the world, so they're not like scrambling to get bodies.
right.
Like I know a lot of dudes that during the push in like Iraq and Afghanistan in like 2006, 2007, there was a lot of guys that went into the military that should not have made it through.
Right. Well, I tried joining after 9/11, and it was my hearing that kept me out.
I went to a Coast Guard recruiter right after I graduated from high school. I had found all the physical requirements and all that stuff online, and I got to the point where I could do it all. Went up past all the physical stuff, and they're looking through my medical records and like, "Oh, you have asthma?" Like, yeah, it's not exercise induced; it's an allergy. Oh, that's too bad. Like, yeah, because I'm going to run into a bunch of fucking hay and tall grass in the Coast Guard, right?
Oh yeah, I mean like, seaweed.
I can run your goddamn 2 miles. I can do your 2 miles. I can swim. Anyway.
Well, I would have been like 28 or 29 going into boot camp if they had brought me, let me join at that point.
Yeah.
So it's probably all things considered, it's probably good that I didn't make it in.
Yeah.
But I had just had shoulder surgery. They were gonna bring me in on a waiver because I scored really high on the ASVAB test.
Oh, no shit.
And they want, so they're like, oh, we can get your we can rehab your shoulder for you. We can bring you in on a waiver once your shoulder's rehabbed. Then, then we'll, send you, to have you do the physical, and then you can come on in. But then when it came to the hearing test, I might as well have said, is this thing on?
We can't take you because your hearing's bad, but if we had taken you and we made your hearing bad, we wouldn't have paid you for it.
Well, I mean, I get it, because if you can't, like, I can't hear high frequencies for shit.
Oh, no. And, what I'm saying is like...
Oh, I know. They want you to have good hearing when you come in, because you're going to have bad hearing when you get out.
Like that giant class action lawsuit against 3M where they're like, yeah, you guys gave us these earplugs and they didn't work. And the military's like, bad hearing from combat? That's definitely not service related. Gunshots and mortars and shit? Pfft, we would never make you do that.
But then again, what do you expect?
Yeah. This is also the same thing where they'll spend 20 years teaching you how to be a tool, and then just be like, okay, see ya. Go be a normal human again.
Yeah.
Rewire your brain to do like civilian shit and struggle. Not our fault.
Yep.
So he's told he's not suitable. He was telling people that the reason he didn't get in is because he has a hard time accepting authority because he's a badass. I'd have punched that drill instructor right in the face.
No, you wouldn't have.
No, he wouldn't have. Anybody that says that would have been crying and doing push-ups.
After and also trying to pry a boot out of their ass.
Yeah. Yep. See, yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones where I don't get like violent when I get angry. I cry. So I would have got my ass double kicked for that. The following year, 1982, at the age of 18, he and the family moved to Saint Laurent, which is a suburb of Montreal. And I know I probably pronounced that half right, but I don't care. That's fine. My family was smart enough to get out of Quebec and move here to the United States. You can play I'm a Real American, Hulk Hogan's old theme song behind that if you want. Anyway,
I might.
So they moved. They moved to be closer to the hospital where Monique is working now. This move screwed Mark up because it put distance between him and his friends that he had made at school.
Wait, he has friends?
Yeah, he made a couple of friends in school.
Do we want to do? Are they still? Were they good people? I guess is what I'm asking.
I don't really know because they
disappear from the story. I'll just shut up.
So they moved to Saint Laurent from Montreal, right? And there is so much distance between him and these friends that they just lose contact.
Okay.
They're 10 miles away.
Oh.
It's a bus ride to go see your friends.
Not only that, he could have gone 5, or, he wanted to join the army. He could have run 5 miles and taken a bus the rest of the way.
Yeah. They've got a friggin' subway system. Like, you could have taken a bus
10 miles.
to the subway, and then, boop, and you're hanging out with your friends. This began a period of 7 years that will... This guy is such a drama queen. Oh, my God. This is a 7-year period that would later be known as, quote, 7 years that brought me no joy. He's such a try-hard douchebag. You think you hate this guy now? Oh, it's so much worse. August of 1982, he starts a 2-year college program at a French language school for pure science, which, from what I can find, is basically would have been called like college prep science here. So basically a advanced high school science class.
Okay.
Kind of like something you would take at like a community college,
Yeah.
Gets off to a rocky start. He fails 2 classes the first semester, but eventually he gets the hang of it in the second semester, where his grades improved drastically.
So he was having. He got joy during that time, a little bit.
No, there's no joy, Bill. No joy for 7 years. No joy.
Oh. Okay.
This is less than a year later. There's still no joy.
Gotcha.
No joy, or however you'd say it in French. So he sucked in school, and then all of a sudden didn't suck in school, right?
Right.
So now that he doesn't suck in school, he's also working at the same hospital as his mother, where he's working a weird combination of jobs where he's a food server / janitor.
I'm not sure those 2 occupations are meant to intertwine.
No. Like, I could see, like, food service and an aide. Sure. Yeah, because you're helping people. Or a janitor and a maintenance guy. Yeah, I could see that. Or a janitor and housekeeping. Sure.
What's this powder on the fish, sir?
I don't want you fishing around in my goddamn toilet and then, handing me bread. Let's not do that. So his coworkers, oh my God, this is fantastic. His coworkers would call him things like, quote, nervous, spastic, and immature. And like many of us at the age of 20, 21.
His coworkers weren't very creative in their insults.
No, but I always love the word spastic.
I do like that.
Yeah. It's the idea of just somebody being a complete spastic and like being twitchy or whatever at work. So, like many of us that have worked with people of the opposite sex, he very quickly became attracted to a female coworker. But obviously, being nervous and spastic and immature, he didn't end up pursuing her. That's not something I can totally fucking relate to. Where you're just like, oh, she's pretty, I shouldn't talk to her. Yeah. I suck, but that's okay.
It's just funny how things turn out.
Yeah. But I understand the mindset of being like, oh man, she's really pretty, and if I try to talk to her, she's going to tell me to go fuck myself. I can relate. After a year of taking these classes, he switches things up and starts into an electronics technology course, which was more about like immediate job placement after graduation. Kind of a smart move, because like this is the early 80s. The electronics business is about to explode. So, getting into it on the ground floor, pretty smart idea. He finished this 3-year program. I'm sorry. Had he finished this 3-year program, he would have been set. But in 1985, his grades fall off and he stops showing for classes. The worst part is his grades dropped off and he stopped showing up to classes in his final term of the course. So he's got like a month left.
Yeah,
he's
it's like you're there. I mean,
yeah, just do it. Don't be an idiot. I almost said the R word, and I'm not sure how people feel about that, but
Never, I got none.
I was going to call him a retard.
I was trying to come up with something. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to come up with smart.
Oh shit, he's
smart
Canadian. I could have stolen one from Trailer Park Boys. This is Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. Like, I know I'm not supposed to use that word anymore, but are you detarded? This little kid's like, that's the same thing. No, it's not. I didn't actually say the other word. Anyway. He was weeks away from finishing this, graduating, and getting a job, and he just bails on it. Without a bunch of warning, in 1986, he left his mother's house and moved into his own apartment by himself, with no roommate, just him, which is probably a great idea for someone with a history of mental health issues and talking about how he doesn't like being isolated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I hate roommates, so...
Well, I do too, but at the same time, you can't bitch about not having friends and being isolated and then being like, I'm going to go live by myself. It's like, yeah, you're not helping your cause. You're making your situation worse.
Exactly.
You know? 1986 was the... Whoops. Yeah. 1986 would be the first time he visited the École Polytechnique in Montreal, which is a college. He wanted to get in there because they had an engineering program, and he figured, hey, I've already dropped out of 2 other colleges. I may as well try to drop out of this one too. So right about here is where he gets canned from his job at the hospital. His supervisor said that it was because he was not doing his job and he was insubordinate all the time. Both good reasons to fire somebody. He is pissed about losing this job, so he did the thing that any normal person would do. He started planning in his head how to go on a murder spree.
Oh.
That would end with him being dead, either at his own hand or being killed by the police.
Hold on a second. I'm going to... This isn't an ADD break, but you mentioned the Polytechnic University. There's one here in the town where I live in. It's the Florida Polytechnic University. It is really... It's a sight to see. I'm going to share this real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to move my window so I can see. So what is it, just like a tech school kind of?
Yeah, and but the building itself, I'm surprised it hasn't been used in some like sci-fi movie.
Oh,
because it's just awesome. I'm going to share that right now. And
I was going to say, because you're pretty close to another one that I think would technically be like a polytechnic school, which is Full Sail. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And I drive by that thing literally every day, and
that's like.
But doesn't this look like an alien, like it would be like an alien building or something like?
It looks like the fucking Justice League has their weekly meetings there. Like,
yeah, but what those 2 flaps are, they're solar panels.
I was going to say they don't look like solar panels, but holy shit, they are. Okay.
But hold on, let me pull it up. Those things go up and down. When they're up like that, when they're up like that, that's when it's like collecting energy. The whole place is solar powered.
Now, are they the ones that kind of move on their own? Like as the day goes by, they kind of like fold one way or the other to collect as much sun as possible? I
have never seen them up.
Oh, okay.
But but they do go. They supposedly go up every single day. But I've just
because there's one them. At the high school that I drive by on my way to work every day, where you go in at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they're on like almost like a 45-degree angle, and then by the time you leave at 4:30, they're flat. So they roll down. But I think so. Those ones are like on motion detector, so they kind of like follow the trail of the sun as it goes, and they just like flop.
Right.
But
I'm gonna put another one up here of what it looks like when they're down. Give me 1 second. This is a major hashtag, but I digress. But that's all right.
Oh,
This is pretty cool. And that's what it looks like when they're down.
Yeah, I mean, that still looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks cooler with the wings up, though.
Yeah, it does.
But that does look pretty cool, though.
But that looks like something that could be that you like a location you would see like in a Doctor Who episode or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of giving off like Sydney Opera House vibes, where you're like, this building's ugly as fuck, but it's actually also super cool at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like, who designed this?
Yeah.
What planet are they from?
But yeah, I drive by that every single day.
That's pretty damn cool, actually. Not gonna lie.
But anyway, hashtag but I digress.
Oh, all good. So, not only did he want to go on a murder spree and then get himself killed, he would also tell literally anyone who would listen that he hated feminists and having women in the workforce. Like, oh, dude.
Wait, do we know whether or not this guy's been laid yet?
Oh, absolutely not. No, he's no.
So would this make him an incel?
I like I said off air before, I have this subtitled as Incel One. I have zero proof, zero physical evidence. Maybe that might not be true because he does write a manifesto. But there's no like, he's an incel, but we can't call him that because this happened way before that term was a thing.
Well,
so he's like a prehistoric incel.
He's the prototype.
So, because technically, if you were to Google like who was the first incel, it comes up with that jerk off Elliot Rodgers.
Yeah, him.
And like, what a fucking loser.
Mm-hmm.
But also Marc Lepine, what a fucking loser.
Yeah.
He just like, this is like the hipster of incels. He's like, he was an incel before it was cool, you know. Like, he was wearing flannel before Nirvana was a thing.
But okay, so yeah, this is the mindset because if somebody comes out, I hate feminists and everything, it's a lot like these guys that like post all over their Facebook how much they hate gay people or whatever. It's like, I kind of think you're hiding something.
You had a wiener in your mouth once, didn't you?
No.
It was twice, but that's fine. Whatever.
But still, it's just like, but all these people that hate women, they hate women because women don't like them. But it's just like, you know what? You're talking, and I swear they all think that they're the greatest guy on women. There's something wrong with the women if they don't like me. Nah, there's something wrong with you, chucklehead.
Yep. The only thing that I hate about feminists is when they're just like, all men suck, and you're like, no, not all of us. Like, just the ones you've had bad experiences with suck. Like, most of us are just normal dudes that just want to, go to work and then come home and fucking build little plastic men or whatever we do in our free time,
or do podcasts
or both,
or play music,
because
or
I can do both. Yeah.
But
what's fun is when I'm like, hey, I can go home and listen to research and also build little tanks at the same time. Because I have no life.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, if telling women that they suck is not going to get you a woman.
No, and again, it's just like the opposite side of it where feminists say all men suck. No, they suck. And not all women suck, just some of them suck.
Right.
You have to, it's a case by case. Like, you can't lump people together. It's almost like you have to judge people by the character of themselves and not by the character of the group.
Or,
weird.
I heard that somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
I think a great man.
Some guy was dreaming about shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, really, really awesome guy too.
But he mostly didn't like seeing women in what would be traditionally male-dominated workforces, like science or being police, stuff like that.
Football, Yes. Pretty much anything else, nah.
Yeah. Like,
Unless it's a lingerie football league, then I'm all for that. But
they fucking hit.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
You know.
But I mean,
everybody's watching.
but still, you know, the women that do, you know, I'm sorry, you're not going to see the NFL or the NCAA football programs integrate ever. And
I mean, hey,
that's
I'm all for it.
It's for their own safety.
Yeah.
Most you might see is like a kicker or a punter. That's it.
I'm all for it. If you want to start a female football league, I'm all for it.
I'd watch it.
I am equal opportunity CTE. You know, women should have the same opportunities as men to get brain damage. Just saying. You know.
Hashtag but I digress.
Oh God.
Are we gonna make it through this episode?
No. He also said that women shouldn't focus on careers. They should stay home and tend to the houses and raise kids, which, hey, if you want, if as a woman, if you want to do that, awesome. That's great. I have no problem with that.
But you know what? But it's not a man's place. Be it a misogynistic piece of shit boyfriend or husband or a politician or an employer or anything. It's the person's it's the woman's choice to do whatever the hell she wants. She can.
It's one of those crazy things where when you're married, you can like talk about stuff and come to a conclusion together, like you're a team or something,
Right?
And be like, hey man, I make so much money that if you want to, you can just have like all kinds of kids and stay home. And that's cool. And if you don't want to, that's also cool.
Yep.
You know,
if she wants to go out and work, more power to you.
Yeah. I mean, if I made enough money that if I was married and my wife was like, I want to stay home, I'd be like, fucking cool. All right. Awesome.
Yep.
So this whole thing was his father coming out. And like I said earlier, he hated his old man, but just like me, the older he got, the more he became his father. Like, except mine is just like, you know, making noises when I go to stand up or whatever. And grumbling. Oh my God, I grumble at fucking everything when I'm working on stuff.
Oh, I picked this thing up a few years ago where it was something irritates me. Instead of just grumbling, I'll just go grumble, 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 grumble.
My favorite one that I'd get picked on for is when I was doing something really intricate, like working on something really small. My ex-wife used to fucking harass me for this all the time, but I'd be like doing stuff and I'd go, you know, I'd have my tongue out and I would only know I was doing it because she'd walk by and go, at me, and I'm like, fuck you. And of course, we'd laugh about it because it's hilarious because I'm an idiot. So people also knew... people that knew him also said that he got really aggressive and unpredictable at this period of time. So maybe a little bit of like schizophrenia coming through because that's something that can manifest in your 20s, which is terrifying. In his frustration and annoyance with the world in general, he failed one of the required tests to get into this university. That, of course, is not actually the case. It was totally because women are flooding the job market and taking work away from men. You know, they took our jobs.
They took our jobs.
All these illegal women. We got to stop all these women at the border. They're taking our jobs. Well, like, you know, I fall into the camp of like, listen, hey, we'll let the... the whole like we need to let the big booty Latinas across the border. Like,
I keep trying to get you to come to Florida, man.
Like, am I mad at it? No. Do I think it's terrible? No. Are terrorists going to sneak through like that? Yes. Is it worth the risk? Also, yes. Anyway,
I keep trying to get you to come down to Florida, man. If you're into the Latinos, this is the place to be.
I'm just into women in general. I'm not even that picky. That's the problem. It's like, I'm not super picky.
The problem is
and I can't get fucking women to talk to me.
The problem is you're in Vermont.
That dude, you have no idea. You have absolutely no idea.
I've been
how
to
right that
Vermont.
is.
I know this. I've been
This
there.
place sucks balls. And I can't date women in my town because I'm fucking related to half of them, and I've known the other one since I was in 3rd grade.
There went the Vermont Chamber of Commerce endorsement that was coming. They've been in touch with
Shucks. me. So obviously these jobs are being taken away from men, men that deserve to work or men that would get the job, but of course they can't because a woman has gotten it, or a woman has taken a job because you're a shithead and got fired from it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's like the guy can't even keep a job. He's a slouch. He's a shit worker.
It's because women.
But it's them damn women.
It's the women that it's women's fault that he has terrible work ethic.
Oh man!
Like in the fall of 1987, he took a few more courses at a smaller college.
Oh wait, hold on. His dad had a good work ethic. I mean, he sacrificed watching his beloved son be born just to work. Oh wait,
but was it to work or was it to get laid?
Oh, he was working.
He was working one way or the other. I'm a pipe fitter sometimes. In the fall of 1987, he took a few more courses at a smaller college and got good enough grades to get into it in this one in February of 1988. He somehow started a course in computer programming at a private college in Montreal, though, in the meantime. Wasn't the pipe fitter joke?
God damn it. Sometimes I just get here's where I can't stop.
I can't, it's like, and I don't even script this shit, it just happens.
No, that's the pipe joke was what started it, but sometimes I just get these fucking laughing kicks right. That's the first time it's ever happened on a podcast.
And you laughing is making me laugh, and I'm crying.
This is going on TikTok.
Oh, son of a bitch, alright. Oh, all right.
ADD break.
So I did some quick fake math, and had this guy not been in Canada where they'll help you pay for college, he would have like $6 million in student loan debt from like 5 different colleges at this point.
Oh, damn.
Like I said, quick fake math. I didn't actually do any of it. I'm just throwing numbers out. I'm going to avoid that joke. But of course, like, yeah, he was getting like government student loans and stuff because his mom works in healthcare, so he gets all kinds of benefits and stuff like that. Because, I mean, technically he did work in healthcare also, which I know where I am. If you work in healthcare and you want to take colleges, like community college courses, they'll fucking pay for like whatever you want to go do. You want to take a course in Greek mythology at CCV in Rutland, they'll pay for it because you're technically a healthcare worker. Like, I could go do that because I work in a healthcare facility, even though I don't directly provide aid to people.
Oh.
So I'm like, man, I'm going to go get me a communications one and learn how to podcast. So aside from these student loans, he also moves into a new apartment with one of his old buddies from school, and they're living in like right in downtown Montreal. And by the winter of 1989, he's taking night courses in solution chemistry, which was one of the required courses to get into the Polytechnic. What confused me is like why he's taking night courses when he's completely unemployed the entire time. Like, you don't have a job, so you don't have to take courses after you get out of work. Like,
well, he's he's got to use the daytime because he has to write his manifesto and he needs light to do it, and because he doesn't have a job.
If I go out in the daytime, I might see women working, and that'll just make me fucking furious.
No, I like that he didn't have electricity because he didn't have a job and couldn't pay the bill.
True.
I like
And also, like,
I like that better.
I mean, in all fairness, he's in Montreal. He could also go out at night and see women working, which would make him furious. You know? I mean, we've all walked by that street.
You're not going to get me like that again.
I will. Yes, I will.
No,
you watch me.
no. The where I just lost it. That had nothing to do with your joke. It's just something that happens from time to time.
Oh, yep. We'll see about that. The only logical answer I could come up with, other than this guy just being a complete weirdo, is like maybe that's the only time that the courses were being done was at night. I don't know. I've never been to college, so I don't know how it works. Believe it or not, I don't have a college education. I'm just an idiot that graduated from high school. So, like, or the other one, like, maybe the day class was just full of women and it terrified him. And I forgot, in August of 1989, he applied for a firearms license and was approved for it in October of that year. I want you to take that and just stick that in your pocket, right? Because I have a 3-year-old. That's a mystery mouse tool that we're going to use later. So he was again rejected from the university after a meeting with the admissions office, where he was informed that there are 3 courses that need to be taken, including the solutions chemistry course. And he started complaining and whining to the office about how women are ruining the workforce and ruining his chances of making a living. I'm sure it had no influence on him being denied from this college.
No, not at all.
And as much as he hates women, he wants nothing more in the world than to find a girlfriend.
Definitely an incel.
Yeah, this dude should have moved back to where his dad was from. He would have been fine. Because I could be like, I can just treat you like shit and you can't do anything about it. Hey. So he had also had like a tendency to like boss women around when talking to them. The more modern term,
mansplaining.
And yeah, I hate the word mansplaining, because it's usually just like I'm trying to tell you something, but
you're mansplaining.
I'm a dude. I'm mansplaining. Or getting told you can't sit with your fucking legs apart like anywhere because you're man spreading. And it's like, no, I don't want to smash my balls. So like I kind of sit with my legs open a little bit, like every other dude on the planet does.
Right.
But you're the devil if you do it. You've seen the pictures, like the videos of people on Subway where someone's like, I can't believe this guy's taking up all this space, and he's literally in one seat.
Right.
He's just like sitting there with his feet like shoulder width apart. What kind of asshole sits like that? Everybody, actually.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we all suck. We get it. It's fine. We've been told that forever. He would also have conversations with dudes in front of women about how much he hated feminists and women that took work for men. So, as you can see, this guy was pretty much just constantly fighting vagina off with a stick. He's got women clamoring for him. Late November, early December of 1989 rolls around, and he puts that firearms license to use and bought a Ruger Mini 14 from a sporting goods store on November 29th. Now, if you don't know what a Ruger Mini 14 is, it's basically a less scary looking AR-15.
Right.
Like, they want to ban AR-15s because they're scary. The Ruger Mini 14 is the exact same thing, but it has a wooden stock. Oh! Like, I'm not going to start on gun laws because I could be here all night. Anyway, so pure speculation on my part, but I think that he went to a sporting goods store most likely after being denied by a gun store. And yes, he had the proper permits and all this stuff to buy these guns. Gun store owners still have the right to refuse a sale based on if they're comfortable with this person owning a firearm or not.
Right.
The media will not tell you that. They act like every dude that runs a gun shop is Nicolas Cage's character from like Lord of War. They're just like, oh no, here, have a gun, kid. No, like if you give off like a weird like creeper vibe, they can go, I'm not selling this to you. Your background came back fine.
Women are
I'm not
taking our
selling it."
jobs.
Yeah.
Women are.
With the eyes going back and forth and everything.
Yeah. He's like in there. Like,
How many bullets can I fire per second?
yeah. This guy's got fucking shark eyes. I'm not selling him a rifle. On December 2nd, he shows up at Monique's house. Monique's his mom. I know it's been a minute since we've talked about her. With birthday gifts for her, even though her birthday was a few weeks away still. He also stashed a note and a bag of belongings in his old room.
That's not a good thing.
Dun, dun, dun. She would find the note in the bag after everything happened.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's what. Charles Whitman.
He also... What's that?
Charles Whitman vibes here.
Yeah. Also, just to really cement the fact that something's about to happen, he didn't pay his rent for December, which the landlord mentioned being odd because he was usually pretty on time with it. Sometimes he was actually paying early, which is weird. Who wants to talk to your fucking landlord early to pay rent?
And how is he getting this money? Because he can't keep a job.
I'm assuming that he is probably
Was there
in the system
was there a slew
somehow.
was there a slew of unsolved bank robberies to happen around that time?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm guessing he was probably on some sort of assistance
Okay.
because he's technically... He could probably be like, I'm technically disabled because I'm crazy, you know?
Mhm.
One of those kind of folks like that.
Yeah.
So he... Oh, okay. He was spotted and noticed about a dozen times between October and December just wandering around the campus of this college, looking through windows and opening exterior doors, which is creepy.
Charles Whitman.
Even if, like, a few times he just, like, straight up walked in and started walking the halls and, like, looking in classrooms and stuff like that. Which, you're not supposed to do that at schools.
No.
December 6th was the end of the term at École Polytechnique, which meant that folks are cramming for finals. Mark was doing some paperwork himself. He sat down and wrote out a handful of pages, and he left a few on his desk and stuffed the rest into, like, one pocket in his jacket. So we've been picking on this guy and having fun.
Yeah.
Now we have times.
Uh-oh.
So we're not going to have any more fun with this one. I'm going to try to make it through this without getting... Potentially, yeah, we'll get there. Fuck it. At 4 p.m., he would be in the registration office, and someone there asked if he had been helped, and he said, "No, I'm waiting for someone." And he sat in a weird position that partially blocked people coming through the door.
Classic dick
Later,
move.
one of the people... What's that?
Classic dick move.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Like, he's probably got his chair, like, fucking shoved halfway in front of the door. He's a prick. Later on, one of the people in the office said that he seemed, quote, nervous and excited as he fidgeted with a green plastic bag. I'm assuming it was probably more like a duffel bag kind of deal and not like a grocery store bag.
You're right.
Because, we'll see. At 4:45, he just kind of stood up and left the office, making his way up to the third floor. He walked to the third floor corridor for a little bit and then went back down to the second floor. So he's being super erratic and very weird. At 5:10, he walked into a mechanical engineering class where someone was giving their final presentation. As the student is going about everything, Mark pulled the Mini 14 out of the bag. People thought he was joking until he raised it and sent a 223 round into the ceiling tiles. He then ordered all the men to leave the room, leaving 9 female students. The guys left, like, nobody did a goddamn thing about this. One of the guys said as he passed, he's firing blanks, and kind of chuckled, thinking that this is somebody playing a prank. Which I would have thought that, the chunks of ceiling tile falling down would be like, oh yeah, no, these are blanks. Blanks don't do that.
But still, I mean, as these guys are walking out the door, he's got to have his back to them at some point, either toward the people in the class or the people that are leaving.
Yep.
Why didn't any of them decide to pounce?
That's all I can give you. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to blame the victim here. I mean,
No.
These guys are victims too. So I'm not going to. I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking, if the people on board United 93 had that mindset, the White House gets hit on 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
I will say this: I am a firm believer that if you can legally, in your state, to defend yourself, carry a firearm wherever you can legally do so. Because you never know when something like this is going to happen. And you don't have to be a hero. It's just, if you're out with your, perfect example, if I'm out in public with my son, I have one with me, because anybody tries anything and it's not going to be nice.
yeah.
But I'm not saying run into it like a gunfight and start trying to shoot bad guys. It's self-defense.
You're not like Peter Griffin on that gun episode where he gets a gun. He's using the gun to turn on the light.
No.
Or was that The Simpsons?
I think it was Homer.
I think it was Homer.
Yeah. No, dude, I've been handling firearms since I was 4 years old. It's been very firmly ingrained in me. Firearm safety is the most important thing that you can really learn with stuff like this. Mm-hmm. I've never had a negligent discharge. I've never accidentally shot anybody. I've never accidentally shot myself. It's not a toy. It's a tool. You just have to know how to use it. And some people, it's literally an inanimate object, so you can't blame it for the action of the people controlling it. That's like blaming your carpenter for fucking, leaving screws hanging out of the wall, like him going, it's my drill. No, it's you, dickhead. So back to this. Mark ordered the women to the back of the room, and one of them asked what he was doing, and he responded, quote, "I'm fighting against feminism." One of the women spoke up. Her name was Natalie Provost, and she said, quote, "We aren't feminists. We're just women studying engineering."
That makes you a feminist.
He didn't find this to be a sufficient answer. And he started from left to right, firing into the line of women. He fires a total of 27 rounds into 9 women, killing 6 and leaving the other 3 for dead. On his way out of the classroom, for some reason, he stopped and wrote shit twice on somebody's paper. Because, again, he's an asshole. Just fucking edgelord turd. He then went into the hallway, firing 3 more rounds, wounding 3 more people. So if you're keeping track, that's 30 rounds fired.
Right.
Which just so happens to be how many rounds this magazine would hold. Very similar, well, not quite, but similar case with one of these guys.
Right.
Which, that is time-stamped on that magazine. I bought it before it was illegal to buy it, just for continuity's sake. If anybody from the state of Vermont is watching that and they want to check, that one's perfectly legal. I bought it before you guys passed an unconstitutional law. Anyway, so he goes into another classroom and takes aim at a woman in the back row and squeezes the trigger. And apparently, all of the college that this guy went to, he didn't learn how to count. Because again, we're up to number 30. The 3 people he shot in the hallway would be the last 3 rounds in the magazine. his magazine's empty.
Huh.
So this woman got off lucky for now. He then quickly ducked out of the room and ran into an emergency stairwell to reload. Why he didn't just reload in the room, no idea. But this guy was like crazy as a shithouse rat, so that could be part of the explanation. He goes back into the same classroom and found that the door is now locked. So somebody saw
Damn
him
feminists.
walk out. Yeah. These goddamn women locking doors. Fuck's wrong with it? So now he pulls the old like 80s movie thing where he's going to try to shoot the door handle off, which doesn't actually necessarily work, especially if there's a deadbolt and he's just shooting a fucking doorknob like an idiot. So he shoots it a couple of times and can't get in, so he moves on. And he would end up running into a woman coming down the stairs, and he shot her. Luckily, she was able to run off and would end up surviving her wounding.
Good.
He then moved on to the financial aid department. And by this time, people have figured out that there's kind of something going on. And one of the women in the department got up to lock the door. And I'm going to apologize. I know before I said I don't care about pronouncing French things correctly. I'm going to apologize because I'm going to mispronounce this woman's name. Maurice Langonier was locking the door as Mark arrived. The lock system is kind of...
You should have sent me that name. I could have had sexy AI voice lady.
I think I got it pretty close.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me.
You know, because I think I got it. I mean, I went to school with enough people with wild French last names that I kind of figured out how to pronounce most of them. Like all the Quinnells and Quinvilles and, you know, the Billadoos, and they all live on the same road because they are literally all related to each other.
Right.
So this lock system is a little weird. To lock the door actually has to be open. So she's pulling the door closed after she locks it, and as she's trying to pull it closed, like some horror movie shit happens, and he just grabs the doorknob and stops her from closing it. She manages to get it closed, but there's like a very like narrow little like side window like next to the door. One of those ones like any typical like high school or college, like you have the door and then it's probably like a, I don't know, like a foot and a half wide window like right next to it. It's probably got like the security wire in it.
Yeah.
So there's one of those there. So he fires twice through the window, killing Maurice instantly. Her actions, though, like taking the time to get up and try to lock this door, saved the lives of every other person in that office. So, you know, it sucks that she died, but she kind of went out a hero, you know? From here, Dickhead goes down to the first floor and enters the cafeteria, where there's about 100 people at the time. He located women in the room and started shooting at them, killing one and injuring another two. Injuring another. Two women attempted to hide in a storage closet, and unfortunately, he saw them go in.
And when was this?
1989.
Damn.
Yeah. He opened the door and killed both of them immediately. He then saw a man and a woman hiding under a table and ordered them out. They did as they're told, and he just left them standing there without shooting either one of them. He went back up to the third floor, where he encountered two men and a woman. He shot all three of them. Somehow, people on the third floor are completely unaware what is going on in the second, first, and bottom floor of this building. I don't know how. Like, this guy's been shooting. He's fired at least 60 rounds at this point, I would assume.
Damn.
And they have no fucking clue what's going on.
It's like Columbine.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Columbine guys read about this guy.
Probably. And those guys, like... There's a lot of hero worship around those guys. Where they're like, oh, they were bullied and they
were
blah, blah, blah.
dicks.
No, they were assholes. They were actually the fucking bullies in the school. Like, Ask anybody that they went to school with. They're like, no, these guys sucked
You
before
know,
they did this.
I hate to do this, but if you want to hear the most honest and most detailed podcast series about Columbine, check out True Crime Kent. Because, I mean, I've never heard that story told with as much detail and as much honesty about these people as what, say what you want to about that podcast, but there's not very many people that do better research than him.
Yeah. And actually, like, speaking of which, I mean, I just saw on Facebook the other day that apparently his brother passed away,
Yeah, I
like,
saw that
unexpectedly.
too.
It's like that fucking sucks, man. Like,
Yeah.
Condolences,
Kent.
Yep, absolutely, man. So he barged into a room and orders all the men out. The woman giving her presentation, and I know I'm going to get this name right because I just said the first name and I know the last name. Maurice Leclerc is shot immediately when he walks through the door. The rest of the people in the room obviously freak out and either hit the floor or run for a door. In the melee, he shot and killed 2 more women. He's very particular with his targeting, and he is unfortunately accurate.
Damn.
He then looked down to the people on the floor. He saw 5 laying on the ground and opened up, killing 1 and injuring the rest. One of the women laying on the floor had her hair cut like really short. He didn't shoot her because he thought that she was a dude. So this woman having like a pixie cut or whatever, literally, it saved her life. Which is not the only serial killer we've ever talked about where a particular haircut or color saved their life, but
Yeah.
After reloading, he walks around the classroom firing some more, but not hitting anybody. He's got 1 round in the pipe, and he went to the stage where Maurice Leclerc is laying. She's panicking, bleeding, and begging for help. He then produces from his jacket a very large hunting knife and stabbed her 3 times in the chest.
Damn.
He then sat down on the edge of the stage with his feet dangling over the edge. Because this is like a college classroom where you would have almost like the Coliseum style seating with a little stage where the professor would do their thing. And so he's sitting there. He sets the knife down. He grabs a box of shells from the bag and and sets those next to it. Next, he takes off his hat and sets that down. And this is all from like a eyewitness account of a survivor that was there. Then he took off his jacket. He wrapped the jacket around the barrel of the rifle, and according to the witness, said, "Ah, shit," and tucked the barrel up against the bottom of his head and blew his brains out. Which, not to condone suicide, but I think he should have started there.
Yeah, right?
Instead of shooting all these people. His time of death was 5:30 p.m., like almost on the dot. 20 minutes after the first shot is fired. And he's dead at 25 years old. I don't feel bad for him.
Nope.
Fuck him. Ambulances arrived on scene at 5:21, but weren't allowed to go in without having police there to clear the building for their own safety, which sucks because you're losing time, but at the same time, it makes sense.
Yeah, but he's also dead. They just don't realize it.
Right.
But so it's just, it sucks because they're still in that mindset that they still think he's going on. The people inside, they don't know what's going on. They don't know that he's dead. But still, he's dead. There's no danger.
Oh, no. They
just don't know.
They got there 10 minutes before he shot himself.
Oh, never mind.
So they couldn't go in. So it's like,
okay.
It's one of those, like, it sucks because, like, in situations like this where seconds count and you have to wait minutes, so as they waited, injured students began streaming out of the building and the medics started providing any aid that they could. Some of the students refused aid and told them that there was more seriously injured people inside. when the cops got there, they start questioning folks. Like, people are getting stories crossed up. People are saying that there's more than one shooter because of how quickly things had happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, of
You
course
know.
you're going to think that. And it's like you're not going to... Well, look at these Columbine chuckleheads. They dressed the same.
Yep.
Even though everybody knew it was them. If they saw one, they knew that the other asshole was involved too.
Yep.
You know, but still, I mean, you don't know.
And the other thing that sucks here is, like, now we have police showing up on scene, but they're being told by their higher-ups, you're not allowed in the building until HRT gets there and clears it. HRT is a hostage rescue team. It's like essentially the same thing as SWAT.
Right.
Like, the way that we have HRT here is like the FBI or like ATF would have HRT, stuff like that, where it's essentially a federal SWAT team. At 5:36, one of the survivors from the last classroom told the police that, like, hey, I watched him shoot himself. He's dead. So at that point in time, the police start clearing the building.
Surprised they took his word for it.
Yep.
Seriously, I'm not even joking. I'm surprised they took his word for it because...
Me too, yeah. Because, like, you never know. This guy's saying, like, oh, yeah, no, I watched him kill himself. He could have been in on it.
Not only that, he could have just watched his best friend, his girlfriend, get her brains blown out. Okay. All right.
So they made entry to the building, and they find him assuming room temperature in classroom B311. They make a call for paramedics to come in and treat the rest of the wounded. Obviously, they're not too concerned about him because he's past tense at this point.
Almost wish he had been, like, barely alive to where they could have just, like, oops, I accidentally stomped on his face.
Yeah, and if it was going to be anybody, it would have been the Montreal Police Public Relations Director, Pierre Leclerc, who arrived on scene to set up an aid station and to take a look at how bad things were. Being the PR guy for the department, he needed to gather as much information as he could as quickly as possible so he could prepare a statement. And he found himself walking into classroom B311, and someone tried... Somebody should have stopped him before he walked into this. So he walks into this classroom, and the first thing that he sees is his dead daughter on the stage.
Oh, fuck.
She is the one that he shot and then stabbed repeatedly. Damn. So obviously he didn't deliver his public relations thing. They had to have somebody come in from outside to do so because he was a little upset, Yeah. And when they searched this guy's body, they found his 3-page suicide note. I have a link for it if you'd like to read it. I'm not going to. I don't want to give this guy any more attention than we already have. But it's rambling horse shit about how women have driven him to do this. Give us a highlight. Just okay, hold on here. Let me
one paragraph. Just
for whatever reason it didn't actually like hyperlink in here. So, oh god, it's from a website, https schoolshooters.info. If anybody's curious. Oh shit! Hold on here. I've got to find. Oh, balls. I forgot that this is like the first part of it's all in French. Okay, here we go. And like the person that's translating at the top of the English one says, "Forgive me if I made mistakes. I had 15 minutes to write this." Dude, you didn't. This is not your fault. You shouldn't have had to write this. Would you... so this is how this whole Would you note that if I commit suicide 89-12-06, because Canada goes big, medium, small in their dates, it is not from economic reason, for I have waited until I exhausted all my financial means, even refusing jobs, but for political reasons. Because I have decided to send the feminists who have always ruined my life to their maker. For 7 years, life has brought me no joy and being totally blasé. Let's skip ahead a little bit because it gets fucking unhinged here. Even if the mad killer epithet be attributed to me by the media, I consider myself a rational, erudite, that only the arrival of the Grim Reaper has forced to take extreme acts. Try hard, try hard, try hard. For why persevere to exist if it is only to please the government? Being rather backward-looking by nature, except for science, the feminists have always enraged me. They want to keep the advantages of women, example, cheaper insurance, extended maternity leave, preceded by preventative leave.
Marc Lepine doesn't get maternity leave.
Yeah, no. So he's upset that they want all of the advantages of being a woman.
He wants to have a baby.
Yeah,
that's all it was. Like that guy in History of the Life of Brian. If I want to have a baby, I should be able to.
Well, his thing is, it's not fair that women have all the advantages of being women, and now that they're in the workforce, they're getting also the advantages of being men at work. You know? And here we go again. Thus, it is an obvious truth that if the Olympic Games removed the men-women distinction, there would be women only in the graceful events. So the feminists are not fighting to remove that barrier. They are so opportunistic, they do not neglect to profit from the knowledge accumulated by men throughout the ages. They always try to misrepresent them every time they can.
I think he'd be a really big fan of men and women's sports.
Dude, this guy would be a huge fucking Andrew Tate fan. I know that. Thus, the other day I heard they were honoring the Canadian men and women who fought at the front line during the World Wars. How can you explain that since women were not authorized to go to the front line? They were nurses, asshole.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They weren't out there fighting. They were saving people's lives, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Well, the men, on the other hand, were committing war crimes. Just as a fun little side note for any Canadian history fans out there. There's a bunch of stuff in the Geneva Convention directly because of the Canadians during World War I. Will we hear of Caesar?
I say we get a time machine and send him back to Passchendaele. He wants to.
I'd rather get a time machine and just smash this guy's dick with a sledgehammer.
Or his dad's dick.
Yeah, that too. Because his dad sucked.
Before he had a chance to use it to bring him into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Destroyed immediately. Will we hear of Caesar's female legions and female galley slaves who, of course, took up 50% of the ranks of history, though they never existed? Sorry for this too brief letter, Marc Lepine. Bitch, it's 3 pages. It's not too brief. You could have just not written anything and shot yourself in your basement like a real man.
If we're going to use that time machine, I've been watching Vikings, doing a rewatch.
Blood Eagle.
Oh, yeah, we could Blood Eagle him, but we could also, just send him to a training, like a training facility for the Shield Maidens.
Oh, he'd love that.
Oh yeah, they'd love him too.
Women. Yeah. He gives off he's very no girls allowed,
Yeah. Now, are you wrapping up?
Almost. I'm trying to find. I thought I
found something.
Okay, what you got?
Well, we'll wait till after you're done with what you have.
So, as with a lot of cases like this, obviously, it's going to have lasting and far-reaching effects. Many of the first responders and survivors ended up needing counseling for PTSD and survivor's guilt. One of the survivors, Sardo Blay, hung himself 8 months to the day after the attack.
Damn.
And in his note, he cited feeling like he could have done something to stop Mark, but he didn't. 2 months after that, 2 months after this guy killed himself, his parents both committed suicide after losing their son. In 1996, Nadia, his sister, Mark's sister, died of a drug overdose. Her friends said that after her brother had carried out the massacre, she changed and became more introverted and quiet and started like pulling away from everybody and getting further into her drug habit than she had been.
Damn.
And I'm just super quickly trying to find the list of names here because I would like to read them off.
Okay.
Because I think that's kind of an important thing to do here. So the... Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's neat. Okay. Lepine, this is directly from the Wikipedia. Lepine killed 14 women, 12 engineering students, 1 nursing student, and 1 employee of the university. We have Genevieve Bergeron, Helene Collin, Natalie Crotu, Barbara Dagno. This one I can nail. Anne Marie Edward, Maud Havernick, Maurice Langonier, Maurice Leclerc, Anne Marie LeMay, Sonia Pelletier. I went to school with a girl with a very similar name to that. Michelle Richard, Anne Saint Arnault, Anne Turcotte, and Barbara. That's a Polish name. Oh my God, I'm fucked here. Barbara Kluznik Wojciechowicz, I think. I hope. I mean, but yeah, that's the. Uh-oh. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. I thought I lost you. So that's the list of the people that he killed, not including himself, but he sucks. So fuck him. Yeah. Told you it wasn't going to be a super fun one, but
well,
you know. So you said you found something else?
yeah. There's, because we were talking about him being an incel. There's like Simon Fraser University did a whole like 18 there's a PDF that you can download of this whole study they did on whether or not he was the first incel.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. First incel question. It's the same one. Never mind. But yeah, and he comes up in a lot of incel studies.
Yeah.
There's one, masculinity, violence, and incels, celebration of December 6th, which was the date that this went down. Incels celebrate this shit.
Yep.
Every year.
Honestly, I think the only reason that he's not considered an incel by a lot of people is because
coined yet.
Yeah, and
But
the
we
internet
still-
wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah, but we still consider people like Carl Panzer serial killers, even though
Yeah,
the term
absolutely.
doesn't exist. So yeah, he's an incel.
Yep. Yep.
So
Well, that was fun.
yeah,
Oh, my chair is dying.
I think next week we'll go back to do another Satanist occult type. story.
Yay! Something fun.
But anyway,
Something where I don't have to. We don't have to talk about a guy finding his daughter shot and stabbed to death while he's trying to do his job.
right.
Ugh.
But yeah, I think
I
we'll go back. I think we'll go back to that one because people seem to be digging the last week's episode. So,
Hell yeah.
this,
I couldn't even like. So full disclosure, I wrote this episode right around the time my son was born.
oh damn.
And when I did it on my old show, I had to stop like twice because I was just fucking openly weeping.
I believe it.
And that guy's like putting myself in that guy's situation where I was like, man, nope, 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 can't do that. And that's one of the reasons I stopped doing true crimes, because after I had my son, I got soft. But
and now you're a regular make regular appearances on a true crime podcast.
so it's different when I don't have to read about it, you know?
Well, it's also different when we just sit there and rip on them the way we do on this show.
Exactly. Like, if you bring somebody to the table, I can be like, oh, this guy's a fucking dork. You just pick on him, it's great. But, yeah, when I actually had to do the research and stuff for it, I'm like, this sucks. I don't like this anymore. I don't want to play no more. I just want to talk about bank robberies and aliens and stuff.
Oh, by the way, as we're wrapping up, I just pulled up the YouTube page because I got a notification that there was a comment on last week's episode. Guy says, "Who's that handsome guy in the Helter Skelter hat? Haha, thanks so much for having me on. It was a blast."
Ah, son of a bitch.
Thank you, Murder Matt, for joining us. Murder Coaster Podcast, everybody. So anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the host duties again for us, and thank you for bringing us this horrible, awful, depressing story.
Heartwarming tale of spree murders and,
incels.
I'll try to find something a little bit more uplifting next time. Still true crimey, but it was either this or like the most prolific child molester in like French history. I was like, I don't want to do that one again.
I don't want to do that one.
It's like the only reason I did it in the first place is because I thought his costume was cool. And then I realized what he was doing, and I was like, by then I was too far into it. I was like, oh, fuck.
Damn.
He's a diddler. Damn it.
Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We appreciate the hell out of it. If like, share, subscribe, do all the stuff. Do it on CKCB stuff. Do it on History Gun stuff.
Yeah.
Do it on True Crime Kent stuff. Do it on wasn't there another podcast I
Murder
mentioned?
Coaster.
Yeah, the Mighty Murder Coaster. Do it on their stuff too. Anyway, until next week. Later.
Bye.